Yeah, I always say what makes a good barber is not just a person who can cut hair. It's a person who's a nice guy. People want to get to know you. Like at the end of the day, if you're not a nice person, why would you go to that person again? Even if you gave them a great haircut, if you were rude to them, they're not going to come back to you. So I always say personality is number one, and then anyone can be taught how to cut hair. It's just up to them if they want to become a good barber. You know what I mean? Like you always look at your work as more critical. Like you always can do a better job. So your job of that haircut is to give it the best. And if you don't give it the best, then you haven't done your job. So you're always trying to better yourself on each haircut.
First off, I just want to take the opportunity to say thank you for letting me be a part of this and letting me do this interview. Greatly appreciate it, fellas. So if you don't mind, whoever wants to go first, tell us who you are.
Hey, my name's Jodie Pipers. I've been a barber for about 30 years. Started off as working in a hairdressing salon, but then made a decision. Hairdressing, I'd rather do barbering. The barbering industry is so much better.
Yeah, AJ, I've been barbering for about near on 8 years now. I was actually introduced to the industry by Jodie because I used to be a customer of his, and got sick of working 18-hour days and loved the career, loved the customers. It's a great job to have, yeah. And just started at JJ Barbers about 8 months ago.
I noticed you said that 30 years and 8 years, correct?
That's right.
What are some of the pros and cons of being in the business?
I don't think there is any cons. I think there's all more pros. I think there's like, you get to be yourself, you can do whatever you want, you get to hang out with friends, your customers become your friends, you're not actually working, this is your enjoyment, you know what I mean? I guess the only pro is that you sometimes do a lot of extra hours, but it's hard to say it's a bad doing those extra hours when you actually like going to work. Like, yeah.
Yeah, like, as Jodie said, probably the only con would be, depending on where you work, the Saturdays and the Sundays and the public holidays that you can do. But here it's pretty chilled vibe, good set of customers. Only do 8 to 12 hours a day depending on what day it is. But the people really make the work, like it just makes it more enjoyable to come in.
Tell the people what services do you all offer?
So we basically offer any type of haircut. We stick to mainly our shorter haircuts. Like we can do our longer haircuts, but we don't do all the blow drying, all that sort of stuff. We stick to more professional hair cutting. We do a lot of beard sculpting. We work on afro hair all the time. I think there's nothing we can't do. We just have to basically look at it and work it out on what we're gonna do.
Yeah, we also do flat tops, which seems to be a dying art in the barber industry nowadays.
100%.
Back in the 80s especially, 90s, how many would you do a day, Jodie?
I was doing about 8 or more a day.
8 or more a day, and now you'd be lucky to do 1 or 2 because people don't think that barbers can do it. They're sick of getting shut down all the time nowadays.
Yeah, a lot of barbers, if they can't do a haircut, they'll actually talk you out of getting that haircut because they rather give you a haircut where they can do than do a haircut where they can't do. So if someone comes in and says, can I have a flat top? They go, oh no, a flat top won't work on you. But technically there's no haircut I've never had to do, no head where I can't do a flat top. I can do a flat top on anyone's haircut, like head. It's just other barbers just can't do a flat top.
And we also do a lot of tracks,
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to be taught basic tracks by Jodie, and then I just sort of incorporated my art into tracks. So I've got a dragon to do in 2 weeks on some side of someone's head.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, man, but I'll give it my best shot.
Yes, indeed. You all ever had an instance where a customer has said, hey, do whatever you like?
Look, we get it quite a lot. It's probably the worst thing to say to a barber or even a hairdresser because there's a lot of room for adjustment. So I personally prefer to, when someone says that, I basically try to find something see what wavelength they're on, because usually when a person says do what you want, they don't actually mean it. They just got no idea on what they want. They want some form of direction to go into they need to be shown a direction. So I usually pull out a magazine or even pull out good old Google and actually work out, so are they after a short haircut, or are they after a longer hairstyle? Are they after a messy hairstyle, or are they after a neat hairstyle? If you start breaking down what they're after, they do know what they want, they just don't know how to communicate to it. So I think when they actually say that word, is they've given up on what they want, and they need to basically be given a direction and guidance. And that's our job, is not to do what we want, it's just to give guidance and actually work out what the personality is for that person. Like, work out, will that suit their profession in the industry what they're in. Like, you don't want to give a lawyer a mohawk, because at the end of the day they won't keep their job, you know what I mean? So you have to really put a little bit more effort in and decipher what they need.
Yeah, but in saying that, I have had good customers come in and ask or tell me to do what I think I wanted to do. And I was like, man, you sure you want me to do whatever I want? Because I get pretty out there with my haircuts. He's like, yeah, mate, do it. It'll be sweet. I'm like, all right. So we did a double mohawk with a massive track line down the middle to fully separate the two up the top there. Razor fade on the sides with a mullet at the back. Now that's probably one of the craziest ones. Another good one was one of my older customers, and I thought we'd just have a bit of fun, have a joke around. I usually give him a full head shave. But you ever seen Mr. Burns from The Simpsons?
Yes.
Yeah, so he still had a bit of hair on top, but what I did was cutthroat shaved, perfect circle on top, and then faded it down the side so he looked like a distinguished Mr. Burns. That was a pretty cool one too.
What's the deal with the mullets here?
Students now.
Also the AFL stars as well, Jodie.
Yeah. All the football players.
All the young kids see that and they're just like, I gotta have that haircut. And then I'm like, look, even my 9-year-old has a mullet, man, down to his shoulders.
Yeah, it's more fun when you do mullets where it's a mullet with a crop, where they've got a blunt fringe, mullet on the back.
Yeah.
Or the mohawk mullet. There's so many different mullets out there, it's not funny. But only in Australia. You can get away with it in Australia.
The vibe of this shop would be old school, family run. That's pretty much it, man. Like, try and make everyone feel welcome.
Yeah.
Try and give that extra service every time.
Oh, look, I honestly think we're just trying to be ourselves. So all we do is we're just hanging out with our friends. Like AJ's my mate, and we've got a new guy working with us who's been a mate with us for a long time, and now he's decided to come and work with us as well. So when you're working with friends, you're just having fun, enjoying being with the people you're working with, and then the customers come in and they just join in with us and they become part of that group. So I guess our vibe is just being ourselves, but it's not a job for us. So it's like you're just coming into our house basically and getting a haircut, and our house is our barbershop. Yeah, we should change it to instead of JJ Barbers, call it Family Barbers.
Yeah.
Honestly, the first time I walked in here, I thought you all were brothers. The way you all carried family.
I'm just the better looking brother.
And the older one. Yeah.
But I do appreciate like how when I first came in, when me and my son came here, like you all actually gave me and my son like the very first photo of my son and I getting our haircuts at the exact same time. I've never had that.
That's cool.
There were times where I was getting cut, he was sitting down, he was getting cut, I'm sitting down. The very first one. So I will always treasure that.
Unit 1, 156 Boundary Street, West End, Brisbane.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, this is Freddie Jones III. You heard it first. We're on location at JJ's Barbers, located in West End. Freddie Jones III, and I'm out.
Thanks, Freddie.
Thanks, Freddie.